Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amber. Today we're going to be talking about the 6 books that I read in June. I am going to be including one that I finished the 31st of last month, but I forgot to mention it in my May wrap-up because I recorded my May wrap-up on the 30th. So I finished it the day after. So that's going to be included in this one, but it was technically May's. And then we're also going to be talking about my July TBR. So starting off, I finished Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune on May 31st. I gave this a 3 stars. It just wasn't the book for me. It had a trope in here that I don't really care for. It is about Fern, who her mom passes away and ends up giving her their lake resort to run. She doesn't know if she wants to run it. Her ex-boyfriend is like the manager there, but somebody that she had met 10 years prior, Will, she spent like 24 hours with him and they really connected. They were supposed to meet a year later. One of them didn't show up. He ends up coming back 10 years later to help her kind of fix up this resort. I didn't like Will's character. It just wasn't it. So 3 stars for that. Next, I read Beach Read by Emily Henry. I gave this 5 stars. I loved this book. I could not get enough of it. This one is about Augusta, who is a fiction writer, and January, who is a romance novelist. They end up being in neighboring beach houses for the summer. Both of them are kind of in a writing slump, so they decide to swap genres to kind of help each other get out of it. Super good, highly recommend. Next up is Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. This is an age gap where she ends up falling for her boyfriend's dad. I gave this a 4 star. I really enjoyed this book. There are quite a few triggers in this, so check that before you start reading it, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very well written book. Then I read An Endless Escape by Caven Herning. I loved this book. I gave this 4.5 stars. This is the second book in her series, and the first one is A Forbidden Fate. I love this book. The characters are so well written. I cannot get enough of them. The banter in this is top tier. If you are looking for a new fantasy series to start, I highly recommend this one. The 2 main characters aren't allowed to touch or everybody dies, so I don't need to say more than that. Next up, I read Twisted Love by Anna Huang. I read that on my Kindle. This may be an unpopular opinion. I gave this a 2.5 stars. I really did not like this book. It wasn't for me. I hated the main male love interest. Hated him. I was so excited because I saw that it was best friend's brother, and I haven't really read a lot of those books, but I've been wanting to. Yeah, no. I didn't understand their chemistry. I hated him as a character. Most of what he said was just extremely cringy. So 2.5 stars for that. I do want to keep reading the series, especially the next one, which I know is like a bodyguard romance. So I want to get to that one. I liked her writing. It's just the character ruined the whole thing for me. Next, I read Curse of the Wolf King by Tassandra Odette. I gave this 3.5 stars. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling with Faye. This has a really interesting twist on the retelling. If you are looking for a Beauty and the Beast retelling, this is the one to go for. I thought it was good. The only thing that kept me from giving this 4 stars was just that I didn't think that the main male character had a whole lot of personality to him. He was just okay to me, but it was still a really enjoyable read. Finally, I read Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. I gave this 4 stars. This one follows the main character, is part of the Rattan, which is the Queen's Premier Guard. It's her and 2 other Rattans go to this town, and there you meet the son who's just been kind of thrown into power at this kingdom, I guess you would say. They're not really seen as a kingdom, and they're considered like an outlaw family. Her and the son end up kind of in this cat and mouse game where they're playing each other, trying to get the secrets uncovered that they need. It was really well written. I loved the story. I loved the 3 Rattan guards in there. I really enjoyed the story. 4 stars. So out of all of my TBR from last month, I didn't read one of them. So let's hope that this month I actually read my TBR. I know that I'll at least read one because I just started it last night. But first off, for this month's TBR is Vow of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. This is the second one in the duology Dance of Thieves, so I know I'll at least read this one. Then we have Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. This one says, this isn't the kind of fairy tale where the princess marries a prince, it's the one where she kills him. So this one is Mara's older sister gets married off for the sake of her parents' throne, and her sister's husband is abusive. So if she completes 3 impossible tasks, then a witch will grant her the tools that she needs to try and save her sister. So that sounds super interesting. And it's not a super long book, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I've been wanting to read this for like 4 months, and I keep putting it off. So I'm finally putting it on this TBR. Next up, we have Court of the Vampire Queen by Katie Robert. This one's about Mina, who is a half vampire. Her father gives her away to Malachi Zion, and this ends up being about her with his 2 friends. So we're gonna be getting to that one soon. Then I have One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. This one I've been seeing everywhere. I see amazing reviews about this, so I think that this will be the next one after I finish Vow of Thieves. This one is Elspeth needs a monster. The monster might be her. Elspeth Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in the eerie, mist-locked kingdom of Blunder. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient, mercurial spirit trapped in her head. He protects her, he keeps her secrets, but nothing comes for free, especially magic. When Elspeth meets a mysterious highwayman on the forest road, her life takes a drastic turn. Thrust into a world of shadow and deception, she joins a dangerous quest to cure Blunder of the dark magic infesting it. Except the highwayman just so happens to be the king's own nephew, captain of the most dangerous men in Blunder, and guilty of high treason. Okay, my camera died, but we're back. The last book that I have on July's TBR is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. This is another one I've been wanting to get to really badly, and I have been putting this off for far too long. This one says, Evangeline Fox has always believed in true love and happy endings until she learns that the love of her life will marry another. Desperate to stop the wedding, Evangeline strikes a deal with the charismatic immortal Prince of Hearts, but she soon discovers that bargaining with the Prince of Hearts is a dangerous game. He has plans for Evangeline, plans that will either end in the greatest happily ever after or the most exquisite tragedy. I see this everywhere. I always see really good things about it. I am ready to finally read this book. That is all that I have today. That is all of the June wrap-up and July TBR. Let me know down in the comments which of these books you've read and which ones you liked, or which ones you are looking forward to reading this month also. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe down below to keep up with all my latest videos, and I will see you in the next one.